Sam, we're in Illinois today, or we've strayed out from Kentucky. We're up here for the NubAbility Outdoors Camp. Tell us what it's all about.
Well, it's all about getting kids who have limb differences or amputees out off their couches and into nature, into God's creation. I bring kids from all over the country to teach them how to play sports, to give them the confidence, to show them that they can do it no matter how they were born, that they were born perfect in God's image, and want to honor the big men upstairs every time I do this. So.
How many kids we got today, and what's their agenda? What do they do while they're here?
Today we're going to have 60 kids from all over the country come in, and they're going to get to see Clay Dyer. And if you haven't seen Clay Dyer fish, he doesn't have hands and he doesn't have feet. It's incredible. Without further ado, here's Clay Dyer.
Thanks, Sam. Thank y'all. Everybody asks me everywhere I go, Clay, how do you do what you do? How do you, how are you a professional angler, man? You have a half arm, you have no legs. How in the world do you do the things you do? I see a lot of people in the world, everywhere me and my wife go, we see a lot of people who allow a negative circumstance to control their life.
Clay Dyer. You know what? You're somebody I've always wanted to meet. Everybody in life has some challenges. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are.
Right.
And I have something that's recognizable, you have something that's recognizable, but I don't think about it like that. You don't think about it like that. We just live. And when you look around you today and you see these kids who have similar situations, they don't have a limb, don't you think that it's our job to do what we're doing today?
I have to say I agree with you 100%. I knew that a mom never consumed alcohol or drugs or anything, and there was no quote-unquote medical explanation as to why I turned out to being, a congenital defect. And I asked Mom when I was about 4, I said, Mother, I said, why did God make me this way? And when I asked my mom that question, I never will forget her answer. She said, son, she said, I don't know why God made you the way he did, but she said, what I do know is this. And she said, that's God doesn't make mistakes. And in that answer, my mother, told me that answer with 100% belief and confidence that that's the way she believed, and therefore it instilled that confidence in me. To me, every adversity you face, every obstacle you face, if you ever give up, if you ever lay down, and you ever stop, and you lose hope, guys, you've lost it all. Because I'll promise you, if you will never give up, and you will never lay down, regardless of what obstacles you face, you will be successful.
As a kid, when do you remember first knowing that you had to be out there in the outdoors? Do you remember your earliest memory? What made you think, I gotta go fishing?
When I would watch Bassmasters at home on Sunday afternoons, watch the professional tournaments, like a lot of kids, I had that dream of wanting to be a pro angler. And I said, when I saw that, I said, this is it. This is my field, this is my mission. And, I started, at a young age, and I put the hammer down going full speed. And, from 15 on, and the last 16 years, here we are.
I watched you, all right, putting a plastic worm on for me is a pain. I mean, I hate it, but I've seen you do it. You can do it better than me.
Is anybody out here, are you willing to bleed to be successful? Are you willing to stick something in your hand, stick a hook in your hand, and feel that pain 50 to 100 times a day to be a champion, to be successful? Are you willing to go through that same type of effort? Because that's what I do. Every time that I change the lure, how do I change it? I balance it on my arm, I put the line in my mouth, I actually put the line through the hook eyelet with my lips and my teeth. I use my lips and my teeth to twist the line around. I stick the hook point into my hand. I stick the line still in my mouth, and holding on to the line, I pull it down, and I bury the barb of the hook into my arm every time. And you say, man, you're nuts. Yeah, I know I'm crazy, but that's the effort, that's the pain that I'm willing to go through to do whatever I need to do to try to win a tournament. Guys, if you go through that kind of effort each and every day of your life, there's absolutely nothing that's going to hold you back from being successful.
At a young age, were you the one who said, let me do that, or did you want help and then you figured it out for yourself, or how did that come about?
It did. It was basically from a young age. I saw how people did things. I figured out my own way of doing it, because I didn't want any special help. I didn't want special equipment. And my mom used to tell the story a lot when I was younger trying to get in tournaments. A lot of times my dad was trying to save me time when he'd rig up my worm or he'd tie on my jig and put on my trailer, and 9 times out of 10 he'd get it crooked. Well, I'd rehook it and straighten it, and he was like, you're OCD, you gotta have it perfect. I'm like, well, if it's not hook straight, it's not gonna swim, natural and look like a natural bait fish or worm or something. or crawl worms, I would re-rig it. So yes, I did all that on my own. You know, I felt like to fish the Pro Tour at the top level, which is where I wanted to get, that I didn't want anybody else in the tournament field, any other professional, to look at me and say, well, you know, Clay's able to compete with us because he's able to have special help. You know, if they were going to do it 100% independently on their own, you know, I was going to figure out a way to do that myself. You're looking at living proof of a guy who's 36 years old that's never allowed any obstacle or any adversity to slow me down, to stop me, to defeat me, or destroy me. Remember, if I can, you can. God bless you. Thank you so much.